centuries, people crying and dying, knowing it's coming.
Yes.
Knowing.
Imagine a world consumed by fire and blood. Cities ignite under crimson skies, the air thick with smoke and screams. Nations clash, not over politics, but over prophecy. Chaos spreads across the globe, and in the heart of the Middle East, two ancient enemies edge toward annihilation. The Bible has long warned us of this moment, of wars, of desolation, of horrors so great they shake the heavens. As the conflict between Israel and Iran escalates, we must ask, are we witnessing the opening verses of humanity's final chapter? Stay with me as we uncover the terrifying truth through the lens of prophecy, war, and horror. In the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verses 3 and 4, we're introduced to the red horse, its rider given power to take peace from the earth. This isn't allegory, it's a vision of global violence painted in blood. Picture a red horse galloping through a burning city, its rider wielding a flaming sword, cutting down everything in its path. Skies blacken, buildings collapse, and the cries of the dying echo like thunder. The horror isn't in the symbolism, it's in how closely it resembles what we see today. Missile strikes, air raids, and cities reduced to ash. 2025 feels less like history, and more like prophecy fulfilled. The book of Revelation is deeply symbolic, but the terror it describes is real. The red horse doesn't ride alone. He prepares the ground for something older, darker, an alliance written in the blood of generations. As nations form uneasy coalitions and ancient tensions reignite, prophecy begins to flicker through the headlines. Ezekiel foresaw not just war, but a gathering, a summoning of hostile powers to Israel's doorstep. This isn't just geopolitics, it's the architecture of apocalypse. In Ezekiel 38, we meet Gog, the leader of a northern coalition destined to invade Israel. The passage describes a massive army rising like a dark storm across the land. Many scholars see Iran as part of this prophecy, alongside nations like Russia and Turkey. Imagine a monstrous army, eyes glowing with unnatural fire, marching toward a trembling Jerusalem. Their hatred isn't just political, it's spiritual. Ezekiel writes that God himself will bring them against his people to reveal his power through judgment. But first, the world must watch this force assemble. Who is Gog? A leader? A nation? A demon behind a political mask? Interpretations vary, but the destination remains the same. Israel becomes the epicenter of wrath. And this doesn't happen in ancient times. Ezekiel speaks clearly. This invasion happens in the latter days. It's not a memory, it's a warning. And as alliances tighten around Israel's borders, many wonder, is Gog already marching? Daniel and Jesus both speak of a defiling act so horrifying it will trigger mass devastation, the abomination of desolation. A blasphemous intrusion into a holy place. Imagine a shattered temple, soaked in blood, filled with shadows that whisper in ancient tongues. A dark figure stands before the altar, not to worship, but to desecrate. As sacred ground is defiled, a wave of destruction begins that, according to Jesus in Matthew 24, will be greater than anything the world has ever seen. But the horror doesn't end with invasion. It escalates. Ezekiel continues. God's judgment is not silent. It comes with earthquakes, with hail, with burning sulfur falling from the heavens. Fire rains down upon the invading armies, consuming them in a storm of divine fury. The earth cracks, the skies roar, and the battlefield is baptized in flame. This is not symbolic punishment, it's supernatural annihilation. And it's not just for Gog's armies, it's a message to the entire world. As judgment falls to earth, the war ascends. It becomes cosmic. The skies begin to tear, the heavens, no longer silent, scream with fury. The stars begin to fall, The moon bleeds, and the sun itself darkens, refusing to shine on what mankind has become. These are not signs of change. They are the death rattles of an age. Revelation 6:12 tells us the sun becomes black as sackcloth. The moon becomes as blood. The stars fall from the sky like burning coals. The entire universe convulses in terror. This isn't a poetic eclipse, it's a cosmic unraveling, a supernatural prelude to what's coming next. As skies twist and the heavens rupture, prophecy crosses the line from ancient scripture into real-world terror. And now, we return to Earth, to a map most of us have grown numb to: Israel, Iran, Syria, Lebanon. But these aren't just geopolitical headlines. They are chess pieces on a divine board. Iran accelerates its nuclear program. Israel strikes back. Hezbollah builds its arsenal. Jerusalem tightens its borders. And from Matthew 24:6, we hear it again. You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. We are not watching politics. We are watching prophecy flicker to life on the edge of every screen. And then, the skies crack open. A blinding light descends. Not metaphor, but presence. From the heavens comes an army clothed in white, on horses of glory. This is not peace. This is war, waged in righteousness. Angels descend like lightning. Their swords shimmer with judgment. And beneath them the earth waits, burning, trembling for the final blow. In the stillness that follows, we see one figure, standing on a hill, staring into the storm. In their hands, an open Bible, its pages flickering in the wind. The world burns behind them. Lightning cracks overhead. They do not run. They watch. They remember. Because the end is no longer a warning, it's a timeline. In that silence, only one question remains. Were these prophecies mere warnings, or were they schedules? When footage mirrors scripture, when ancient voices echo in modern blood, what will you believe? More importantly, what will you do? The Bible's prophecies aren't bedtime stories. They're battle plans. Revelation, Ezekiel, Daniel, these voices echo not just from the past, but toward the end. If what you saw here feels like more than coincidence, maybe it's because the final countdown isn't coming. It's already begun. Comment below. Do you believe we are living in the end times? Like this video if it gave you chills. Subscribe for more horror, prophecy, and truth. Because if these signs are real, the time to prepare is now.